is Margaret Schlechter here with Mud Run Guide. I am here with Rick Nealis from well, you're with a bunch of different things, but we're going to talk about Run Amuck that you guys are putting on next week. So, Rick, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Margaret. The Marine Corps Marathon organization, you're absolutely correct, encompasses about 13 running events now and one triathlon.
And you guys are adding to it with Run Amuck. So most people, I feel like, are familiar with the Marine Corps Marathon and know what you guys have going on with that. But do you want to talk about this new event you have going on next week?
Absolutely. It's exciting because one of the things we try to do under the event umbrella for the Marine Corps is to introduce people not only into health and fitness, but also into Marine Corps history. And the Mud Run, Run Amuck does absolutely that. We're able to bring our competitors aboard Marine Corps Base Quantico, which is we're celebrating our centennial. We've been around 100 years. The base was formed in 1917 to get ready for World War One. So you have the historical perspective of the Marine Corps here at Quantico to introduce people what Marines go through, whether you go through our enlisted program at a Paris Island or San Diego, or the officers come here to Quantico to train. So the same hills, the same mud, the same Virginia red clay that our Marines, train and get to see up close. We give that experience. So we add the obstacles, the mud, exercises by our Marines. So it's a little bit different than maybe some of the other mud runs out there because, one, we take safety paramount. And and sometimes people will say, this is kind of easier. But at the end of the day, it's really not, because it's 4 miles of 27 obstacles. So you're doing about a 100-yard sprint, and you're using different muscles, different, most of our people who compete in these things are runners.
Mm-hmm.
When you start doing exercises and trying to, scale over fences, crawl through tunnels, you're using other muscles that you have never experienced before, and it's an exhausting day. It's tough. It's tough training.
And you're giving people access to a place that they don't necessarily have access to on other days of the week, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a total team concept here at Marine Corps Base Quantico. We're about 35 miles south of Washington, D.C. And, while you're going through these obstacles, you're in the woods. I mean, you can come across a deer, maybe a harmless water moccasin in our mud pits, nothing to be afraid of. But then you also get the view of the spectacular terrain that we have at Quantico. And if you turn around and look to the back, you see Marine Corps Air Station, which is the home of Helicopter One. The President's helicopter squadron is here at Quantico, and they could see the Potomac River. And the town of Quantico is the only town in the whole United States totally engulfed by a Marine Corps base. Very unique, very strange. There's about 200 residents in this little town. I'll admit, it's barbershops, dry cleaners, maybe a couple tattoo parlors, and a couple places to eat. But it is very military, very Marine Corps feeling. So not only do we want our runners to come aboard the base, do the exercises, do health and fitness, chance to intermingle with the Marines. You don't have that every day. These young devil dogs are phenomenal. I mean, men and women, that come across the globe to serve their country. This is some people in America forget that, we've been at war for about 14 years, and the burden of democracy is on these 18, 19, 20-year-old Marines who are out there on next Saturday making sure those obstacles are safe. And it's something to see when our, Marines, we teach politeness, even though we're rough and tough. So they're out there saying, yes, sir, no, ma'am. And when you have a 22-year-old young lady and says, you're calling me ma'am, that's what you should call my mother or my grandmother. But the Marines, they know nothing. They know that only that respect, and it's just a wonderful day to be here.
It sounds awesome, and it sounds such like a unique experience for people to have. I mean, what I guess that from your point of view, like, what is an obstacle that maybe something that's a classic Marine obstacle that you're excited for the general public to really get to try or do, or is there a piece of the course that you're really excited about?
One is the hay bales that you use to maybe use as steps, and then you are able to propel yourself over this 6-foot wall. That is one. Going through the drainage tunnels, just doing that low crawl is something to see, for people, because you're in a tunnel, we see drainage pipes all the time, but when you're inside one, that claustrophobic, and we're putting water in that tunnel, it really, again, puts a different perspective. And just running in mud, because your shoes are going to get mud caked, and now, it feels like you're lifting 20 pounds, every time you take a step. And it's just, and then when they come back, we try to rinse them down. We try to clean them up a little bit, but they really want that badge of honor to have some of that Virginia red clay that they can take home. One of the things we do is, out of our 2,000 competitors, probably around 60–70% of them will leave their shoes because they're caked in mud. And we clean them up. And one of the things we do is we don't put them in a landfill. We'll wash them and hose them down a week from now, and then we take them to the homeless shelter. So it's, again, a good feeling when we're talking about health and fitness. We're talking about Marine Corps history, and we're doing something for the community and giving something back. And, runners are special. That's what I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been with the Marine Corps coming up on 45 years, either active duty or as a civilian. And, there's nothing better, on a daily basis is to be, around young devil dog, hard charging Marines.
And so how, if people want to sign up for this, how can they sign up for it? And then if they just want to come and spectate, are they allowed to spectate, or what? Can you talk a little bit about race day?
Well, registration is still open. It will be open. There's a couple waves because we put people out in different color waves. So some of the waves are closed. But if you still want to compete, you just go on marinemarathon.com. You'll see a registration link button that will immediately take you to our registration page, and just follow the cues. If you want to spectate, like I said, Marine Corps Base Quantico is an open base. So as long as you have a driver's license, some form of identification, you can come aboard the base. It's very unique. It's the home of the FBI headquarters. It's where our Marines come out of the Naval Academy and train here, and all our college lieutenants. But they can come aboard the base, exit 148 or 150 off of 95 north or south, and come aboard. And like I said, spend a day, go into that little town of Quantico and have a meal, maybe get a haircut, maybe get a tattoo, and just enjoy the experience of when you realize we're 40 miles from our nation's capital, not far away. And one of the other things unique to Marine Corps Base Quantico, if you want to get some of that history, is our Marine Corps National Museum is here at Quantico. and it's one of the newest museums in the national museum hierarchy. So it's, again, something to experience.
Well, excellent. Well, I think that you've given everybody multiple reasons to go to Run Amuck next weekend, June 10th. And Rick, thanks so much. This has been great. And thanks for giving us a little bit more insight into the race and Quantico and everything that you have going on. So thanks a lot. Thanks so much.
And thank you for having me. And